All right, here we go. Here we go. Welcome in, guys, as we're going to be starting the latest edition of the Young Guns podcast. Finally, back in my channel for after a while of, I guess, a hiatus on the channel. Welcome in, everybody. As we start to get ready for people to roll in here, I've got a special surprise for everybody in the beginning of this show. It's probably not going to be the most pleasant for me, but it's going to be pleasant for you guys. So we're just waiting for people to pop in here. Kush is running a little late, so he'll be here in just a second. What's going on, Levance? He says, yo, what's up, homies? Blue Wave in the building. The fact that there are leaks about Giants inquiring about Dan Quinn tells you they already have their GM. We'll get to that soon enough, Blue Wave. Stick with us right now. I've got to do something in the beginning of it. You guys aren't going to want to miss this, and it might be cringe for you guys, but it's something I have to do. I lost a bet, okay? I lost a bet, and I have to I've got to do something. I got to do something. And he's in the building. I thought you couldn't watch the live, boy. I thought you couldn't watch the live. We're gonna wait for people to come in here. Then I'll do what I gotta do here, guys. I'm not looking forward to this at all, but I have to do it before I start the show. I guess I haven't had time to really do this. I didn't want to just make a video and just post it because that just would be boring. So I wanted to do it live, wait till I had a chance to go live. And here we go. Oh, where are you hiding? You're going to want to be in here too, buddy, because I lost a bet to an Eagles fan, and this is going to be fun. Any other Eagles fans in here? What is that? No, that's a Newman. All right, that's a Giants fan. What's going on, everybody? Lewis in the building, Ligma in the building. What's going on? Kid Blue, my guy, looking fresh. I mean, I look the same every day. I mean, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Edward Chan, yo, what's going on? Why is Ligma says capism? What are you talking about? How's Beulah? Lewis, what's up? Mike Nixon, my boy, what's going on? Greetings, Giants fans. Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? I don't want to talk crap yet because I have to do something for you Eagles fans that I'm gonna regret. So I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. But how you guys doing? I'm gonna wait to try to get more people in here. I haven't been live in a while, so it may be hard for people to come in here quickly because the algorithm just won't send out notifications if you haven't gone live for a while. That's something I've noticed. So if you guys got the notification, let me know. Lewis says the haircut, bro. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to grow the top out a little bit. I'm going to keep shaving the sides and see how long I can get the top without it looking stupid. Now, every time I go to my flag football games, my hair ends up looking like a mess. Adam can attest to this. My hair looks like an absolute mess. That's why I hate having long hair. But I'm going to try growing out my hair as long as I can. But you guys stick in here for me, please. I need to try to get this view count up a little bit because I want to make this memorable. Timothy says, if the Giants hire Joe Shane as general manager, should they name Brian Flores as coach, Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator, and Ryan Wendell as offensive line coach? I don't know, Timothy. I do not know. I don't know where any of these are leading. I don't want to speculate too hard about it. Like I said, we'll get into it when Kush joins and I finish my bet. I don't really want to say what it is yet. I keep about to slip up. I don't really want to say what it is yet. It might be a little cringe for you guys, for us Giants fans, but try to stick with us here. Yes, I can concur. I'll be honest with you. I did not know how to spell concur. I'm happy that you do. God, please God, tell me. No, I'm not shaving my head. Mike. I'm not shaving my. Oh my God! If that was the bet, I would cry. I would even take in the bet. I am obsessed with my hair. I can't. No. The barber messes up my hair. You have to reset. You got to do something. All right, we got 16 people in here. I think this should suffice for now, right? This should suffice for now. So I don't want to do this. I'm gonna vomit. Oh God. I don't want to do this. It would have been really bad if Adam sent me a jersey. Good thing you didn't, because why is this so hard for me to do? I don't understand it. Adam, can you believe I was practicing the song? I was practicing. God, This is embarrassing. First of all, I don't have a voice of an angel, so I can't. Oh, all right. I'm gonna do it. I had to shave my head because I lost a bet to big play slate. Oh man, that's something I would never take unless I know it's a surefire thing. All right, so let me give you guys a backstory before you guys start leaving. And he's like, "Oh, he's not gonna do anything." Okay, here's the backstory to this bet. Okay, I was talking a lot of crap to Eagles fans last year. And by the way, Eagles fans found a way to get 2 of my videos to the top 5 viewership of my channel. So, you know what? I love to see it. I love the Eagles fans in the building, okay? Because you guys and your rage and your hatred, I love, okay? I love because you guys get me views, okay? That being said, I talked a lot of crap last year about Eagles fans because of the whole end of the year situation, the last week 17 situation. Oh, you can see my turtle scar. My turtle bit me over there. But you guys know that I was talking a lot of crap, right? I said we're gonna sweep the Eagles. I don't care. I can't stand the Eagles. After what happened, and I really thought the Eagles were gonna suck this year, and so did Eagles fans. All right, let's be real here. You guys knew you were gonna suck too, besides a couple of people. And I also said, yeah, I said we're gonna sweep you guys, and I thought we were gonna be good this year, so on and so forth, right? So basically, one of my teammates from my flag football team is an Eagles fan, and he said, let's make a bet. If the Giants sweep the Eagles, like I said, I was gonna like this. I said this team was going to do last year because I really thought we were gonna sweep the Eagles this time. I said I would. He said to sing the Eagles fight song, and I don't want to do this, but I have to sing the Eagles fight song. I was supposed to wear an Eagles jersey, but thank God he didn't get around to giving that to me. I see Kush in the backstage. I'm going to leave Kush backstage to save his pride and dignity, but I'm going to waste mine. So let me put this full screen so you guys can get the full gist here. I hope this copyrighted. Is the Eagles fight song copyrighted? I don't know if it is. If it is, then in post editing, I'll take it out. But all right, guys, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We are going to sing the Eagles fight song. For this for you, Adam, and this for all the Eagles fans out there. I hope Big Play Slay sees this because he's one of the coolest Eagles fans I know. Oh God. All right. I see Kush staring at me in the backstage. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I had to wear a cowboy. I had to wear. Oh God, that sucks. That sucks. Dislike if you see the song. No, don't dislike, guys. You're trying to help me out here, okay? Give me some motivation. He said I had to step on Legos because the Cowboys won the division and smash my face in dog food. What is wrong with you guys? Okay, you guys make it seem like the Eagles fight song is nothing. All right, here we go. We're just gonna go right through it. Hold on. Let me get a little test here. Can you guys hear the audio? Can you guys hear the audio? That's my question. The audio, everybody's good? I see Kush gave me the thumbs up. I want to make sure I get the thumbs up in the chat. You guys can hear the audio because I don't want to do this as an acapella because I will destroy some ears. Let me wait for a couple comments, at least like 2 or 3 to say that. All right, yes. All right. Here we go, guys. You guys can sing along if you guys so choose. I don't think anybody's going to sing along besides Eagles fans. All right. 1, 2, 3. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Agles, Eagles. Woo! You guys have the worst spelling of Jets. That's easy, but Eagles, you guys shouldn't spell that. Why is Kush going around like encore? No, encore? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, that's it. That's it. Okay, I did it. I powered through it. I hope I had a good voice for you guys. Someone says someone clip it. Don't worry, I'm gonna do that myself. Without further ado, For those, oh God, run it back one more time. Kush said to run it back one more time before I come on. All right, fine. Just because that went encore. Oh God, Kush, do you want to come in on this? Do you want to sing it too? No. He started laughing. Oh God. I got this. All right, don't worry. I got this. All right. I like your singing in that song. Thank you, Edward. Thank you. All right, one more time. We'll run it back. Justin says that was wonderful. Y'all are welcome. I can't stand you. All right, here we go. Encore. All right. Woo! Let's go. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. EAGLES, Eagles. I perfected that one. Yes. All right. That was perfect. That was my best take yet. I did like 3 takes before I went on here. All right, guys. Here we go. That was. How do you guys like that one?
Yo, first of all, bring me in so that less of my hair shows, right?
How do you? Hey, I want to get your opinion on the voice. How do you?
Why is my hair showing the same? I'm gonna have to grab a hat. All right, but second of all,
You thought that was gonna crop?
second of all, I need you to share your screen once again. All right,
Why?
of the same Eagles thing, right? Just share your screen again.
Okay,
Did you close out the tab?
I did, but why?
No, there was some questionable content on the recommended screen.
What's that? What's that?
After you finished your song. It just gave us a little insight into what you look at on YouTube. It was very questionable content.
Hey, I'll be honest. I am not the only one that looks at my YouTube. Okay, my girlfriend has my YouTube account.
Oh,
right?
You girlfriend looking at some questionable content on YouTube, then, bro. It doesn't change the fact that questionable content is questionable content.
I didn't see
anything. First of all, shout out to everybody, and I see Ashton from the Get Back with Ashton. I see Justin in here. Hey, yo, Justin, listen, I'm coming for Bobby's $500,000 a year salary, bro. You already know. Where you hiding? What's up, man? How you doing, Manny Brito, Louis Brand, Levance, Messi, Mamba? Shout out to everybody in here, man. Adam Jimenez, Ligma was in here. I'm surprised Ligma wasn't trolling more. You know what I'm saying? Edward Chan.
Why is everybody joining in once the song ends?
Can you highlight the lyrics part?
The ASMR? Oh yeah, my girlfriend watches that.
Nah, it was a thumbnail. Yeah. It wasn't the title. Highlight the lyrics part once again, bro. That Justin was talking about the lyrics. That comment.
Oh yeah. Let me go back up. There we go.
So, here's the thing, right? I have to agree. I never looked at the lyrics before, but that was the most corny.
I know.
Unimaginative.
But
you know third grader came up with it type lyrics, man.
You know,
I'm like, they really singing this with full pride out there in Eagle Land.
You know,
that's ridiculous. I know we don't have a song, but at least the fact that we don't have a song means that we don't have a questionable type of song and whatnot.
But
what up, Mike? How you doing?
My thing was, okay, the spelling out of the name, right? The Jets can get away with it. JETS, Jets, right? That is, you can get along with that. EAGLES, Eagles. There are people that don't, especially Eagles fans, that probably don't even know how to spell Eagles. Okay, that's just.
Yo, hold up.
That's too much. Okay, that's too much. It's just like the Buccaneers. I go to the Giants Buccaneers games, and they do their little song, and it's like BUCCANEERS.
Why does every team feel the name to spell out their name, bro?
I don't know,
that's
but
not
out of all teams, the Buccaneers. Oh, I don't understand that one.
You know what I need to get? I need to get what Justin Herbert wears in his hair, bro. Just hold it down. The headband thing. This is getting ridiculous because I don't want to cut my hair. I'll do a shape up every now and again, but I want to grow it out as much as possible. I want to see how long it can get. The longest my hair has ever been. At one point, it looked like an afro back in like middle school, early high school. But oh, this is gonna annoy me all night, isn't it? Let me go grab a hat, bro. This is gonna annoy me.
All right, no problem. So while we wait for Kush to come back, let's see. Y'all think Peter's leaving New York tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about all of that, guys. We'll talk about all of that. Now that we got the song out the way, I appreciate everybody who stood in here to watch that, especially the Eagles fans. Though that was definitely for you guys. Justin said Chris shouldn't be talking about questionable content.
Listen, I never watch ASMR videos with that thumbnail, man.
Well, I gotta go back and see what thumbnail you're talking about. I didn't even notice anything, honestly.
Oh, a word? Yeah, sure you didn't, bro. That's why you closed out that tab so fast, huh?
I closed it out because I removed it. I'll go back and look at it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I see that stuff all the time, dude. I share my YouTube.
Yeah, account. I bet you do. Yeah.
I share my YouTube account. I see that stuff in my recommended all the time.
Or, you know what I'm saying? A YouTube account is free to create. I don't know why you're out here sharing your YouTube account, man. It ain't like it's a Netflix account. Listen, both. She's got all both. I'm about to say, all right, all I'm about to say is your singing was better the second time around.
Well, yeah,
y'all are welcome for the encore, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I was back here. Down. I was like, he better run it back one more time, and he got it. He nailed it the second time. If you clipped anything, it should be the second one, not the first one. Yeah, or maybe all two together. It's not a long song.
I'm gonna clip it myself. I'm gonna post it separately and on Twitter too. If that'll be fun. But yeah, I told Adam, the guy I made the bet with, that I would clip it as well. So I'm gonna do it. So you guys don't need to worry about it. I got it. But Edward Scross is the worst.
Well, all right, man. Yeah. What are we trying to talk about first? I see that I saw one person. I'm sorry, it was a person with a green profile picture was talking about Adam Peters' interview a couple times in the chat. Yeah, I'm sure we could talk about that first.
We'll
finalists.
Get started. We'll kick it off with so the Giants. I guess not them themselves announced that there are 3 more finalists. Just multiple sources that it seems to be confirmed that the New York Giants have their 3 finalists, and lo and behold, it was the 3 finalists a lot of people had. I definitely had those as the 3 finalists. I don't know about you. I know you were a big fan of Hortiz, right? Hortiz?
Yeah, Hortiz.
Yeah, Hortiz. I can't. I don't really know.
Apparently, according to a very creative person on Twitter, it's pronounced Hortiz. So that's what I've been saying.
Hortiz.
Yeah,
okay.
Hortiz.
But yeah, those were my 3 candidates there. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have them in a. I had them. The specific order was Peters, Shane, and Poles. That was my specific order. Don't know where the Giants have.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually surprised that they didn't give Hortiz a second interview. And that's kind of how we knew about who the quote unquote finalists are.
He was like,
the Giants, huh?
Hortiz was my 4th guy.
He was your 4th guy? Yeah. It's not like the Giants announced like, oh, these are our finalists, but like you could just basically deduct. They gave you all the information needed. Like these are the only 3 guys that got a second interview, and a second interview that was gonna be in person at the Giants facility, right? So Joe Shane, his was Monday. It was literally 1, 2, 3. Ryan Poles was yesterday, and I think Adam Peters is supposed to be tomorrow. Or something along those lines, right? And I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm fine with it. We've seen a little bit of thing come out about them inquiring about coaches, which suggests that they have a working list of coaches. 1 or 2, it suggests that the 2 guys they brought back in already are giving them a working list of coaches. Or 3, it's a combination of both. The Giants had their own list, and they're listening to what their potential new general manager is saying, and they're reaching out before that guy gets swept up or anything like that.
Yeah. Before we get into the head coaching thing, because that's definitely something to talk about, as I see some news earlier today. What do you think? First of all, I'm happy that the Giants and the fan base are kind of in sync when it comes to this, right? I think the majority really had those 3 guys. I mean, Hortiz up there as well, but as far as the 4 guys mixed around, I mean, those 3 were definitely in the top 4, right? You got 2 assistant GMs, which were the highest positions of the people that we were giving interviews to, and that was Peters and Shane. Those were 2 assistant GMs. So the best promoted guys, best job, the highest job position out of the nine candidates.
And both of them have been with their franchises for the last 4 years.
And then there's Poles, who obviously is part of, such a a successful franchise as Kansas City is most recently. And, these are
Not
all
even
younger
recently.
guys.
I would argue they've been a successful franchise over the past 10 years. They've
That's
been a
recently
winning
to me.
franchise.
Yeah, I would say
Okay,
that's
okay.
recently
I
to me.
thought you were
Yeah.
talking about specifically like just the Patrick Mahomes era, but I was
Yeah.
like, they've been winning for a good 10 years, 12 years now.
When I think like a they're not, I wouldn't say they're a dynasty close to it. Yeah, but like when I think of like long successful franchise, I'm thinking like the Patriots with Tom Brady, going back like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But like most recently 10 years, they've had a really good 10 years. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about the three candidates, just to sum it up for the people in the chat, and
For
how do you
sure.
feel about them being the finalists?
So let me start with Ryan Poles, because early on in the process, and early on in the process isn't even that long ago. I'm talking about like last week when we got the first 7 names of everybody put out. A lot of people were hopping on Joe Schoen, understandably. A lot of people were hopping on Adam Peters. Ryan Poles was kind of not talked about that much until like recently. And when I put out a video the same day, I think I made that video the same day the 7 candidates were announced, or the day after, I said, y'all are sleeping on Ryan Poles when you shouldn't be. He has 19 years of experience, all of them with Kansas City, by the way. So they viewed him as consistent and good enough to last through several regimes, which should tell you something. But also in those 19 years, he's worked his way up from like the very bottom of the scouting department all the way up top to where he is right now. I think he's a VP, and I'm forgetting the last title, but he's VP of something in the scouting department. Either way, what you need to know is that he's been involved with basically all the drafts, all the talent evaluation and things like that happens in the front office. And he's been in that position, I want to say, for a couple years now. But like I mentioned earlier, Kansas City has been a winning team, I'll say, a team that's above 500 for the better part of 10 to 12 years, right? And he's been with them for 19. He was a guy just off a general manager that could draft alone. I thought was probably one of the strongest candidates because of his experience and his resume. And then you have Peters, who a lot of people, it's Peters and Schoen is a lot of people's 1A, 1B, however you want to switch it. With Peters, he's with the 49ers, and his resume is very similar to Schoen in terms of like what they've done as assistant GM. Obviously, they've helped out with the draft. They've helped out with free agency. So that's draft evaluation, that's talent evaluation, that's player acquisition and things like that. Peters with the 49ers, we know how the 49ers built their team. They built that defensive line. They built that defense, most importantly, and they built that line as well. Some of it was through trades, or no, was it through free agency? I can't remember how they got Trent Williams, but that's player acquisition, and then some of it was through the draft with their I think it was their center they drafted a couple years ago in 2018 or 2019, something like that. But San Fran has done a really good job of first building up that defense more than anything, and really sort of turning, it wasn't a bad team, it was just kind of mediocre after Harbaugh left for a couple of years, and then Peters helped turn it back into a winning franchise. The Bills, however, with Schoen, they were in a little bit more of a drastic situation, I guess you could say. Yeah, they had Tyrod Taylor take them to the playoffs in 2017, but before that, the Bills for like a better part of like 10 to 15 years were kind of a bad franchise. They were an easy rollover franchise, a cakewalk to most NFL teams. And we saw how they built their team. They replaced that quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, who we all see now was not going to be the franchise. They correctly saw that Josh Allen had a lot of potential and a ceiling that they felt they could tap into, and they tapped into it immediately.
Real quick, my friend. Hold on. Mods, do your thing. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting
That man's kind of spamming.
Yeah,
he's kind of spamming a little bit. So not only did they see Josh Allen's potential, but they evaluated themselves and they said, we can tap into it. And they did exactly that. They tapped into it. They surrounded him with the correct pieces. They surrounded him with a good enough offensive line. And that Bills defense has always been underrated to me. They've always been a top 10, even top 5 defense in the past 4 years. People don't know it. People don't know it.
Top 3 at least the past 3 or 4 years.
The reason people don't know about it that much is because their pass rush was nothing like, it wasn't a spectacular pass rush, which they've been working on in the past 2 years to fix with AJ Epineza and Gregory Rousseau. Once again, another great talent evaluation right there, at least based off his rookie year. Myself, along with a lot of other people, thought Rousseau was going to be a guy. Well, we said he was either going to be a bust or just somebody that comes on and is really good. It was the second one. The Bills it kind of reminds me of Josh Allen once again. Exactly. They said, yo, we see the potential. We feel like we can tap into it. And I think they're doing exactly that. Player acquisition, talk about trades with Stephon Diggs. Their secondary has been probably the best in the NFL, or one of the best in the NFL over the past 4 or 5 years. And the turnaround, once again, like I mentioned with Adam Peters, with the 49ers from like a mediocre middling team, They had like a 1-4-12 season, I think it was, to a winning team with the Bills, a franchise that was at that point like really bad for a while, into one of the best teams in the NFL. Peters and Schoen are definitely going to be the top two candidates out of those finalists. Not to leave out Ryan Poles, but there's a reason they're the top two. Like they're the, like you were saying, they're the highest thing you can be without being the GM, or the highest position with that assistant general manager thing. And in that video, I even brought up a quote that Brandon Beane, the current general manager of the Buffalo Bills, had to say about Joe Schoen 2 years ago, which really makes me think like he is the guy. And this was 2 years ago in 2019, or 3 years ago at this point, depending how you want to look at it. He was like, Joe Schoen is going to be a GM in the NFL, but he knows that he's not ready yet. As in, Joe Schoen knows in himself that he's not ready yet, but he's a guy that listens. He's a guy that knows how to communicate. He's a guy that knows how to do his job. Give him some time and he'll be good. That was 2 years ago. I think it's been time. You know what I mean? And I feel like Joe Schoen now feels confident in himself, because that's why he's putting himself out there to go and be that guy for a team.
Yeah, and I think you summed up those three very, very nicely. And those are my top three guys. Those were the guys I was really looking forward to, and I'm very glad that the New York Giants chose them as their final three candidates. Like I said, Ortiz was a fan favorite as well. He was my fourth option. So if he were to be replaced by one of those guys, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. But with all that being said about the good about those teams, those candidates, I will get into a little bit of my concerns. I guess it's just fair to really evaluate that. And the only way I can really kind of see what the potential negatives are just to be looking at what those teams are now, right? Or what those teams have struggled with in most recent years. And I guess I'll start off with the Bills, because a lot of people's favorite is Shane or Schoen, or however it is pronounced. But the Bills have had a big problem in the past couple of years with their running game, right? The running game hasn't been that much paid attention to at all. Now that could be a coaching thing, but the GMs, I guess, have a part in that too, with neglecting, I wouldn't say neglecting running back position, because they've addressed it with Zach Moss.
Yeah, they have running backs, they just don't use them.
They just don't use them. But that I guess that is my biggest concern there, was the running game and them trying to be more of a pass happy team. I don't really know how I feel about the New York Giants as being a flat out passing team, unless we really get a great quarterback like a Josh Allen.
I was told last night on my podcast that it's pronounced Shane, and I literally just got somebody just told me it's also pronounced Shane. Yeah.
Okay, so Shane. So Shane.
That's a weird way of saying
it. Is, right?
Because
even if it's German, it still looks like Schoen or something like that. I don't know.
Y'all know me as Kush, and I don't know my name's a Shane, but it's spelled the correct way, like Shane. All right, it's not spelled no Schoen. All right, I don't know what they're talking about, man.
But that's the concern I have for the Bills. For the Kansas City Chiefs, it's been, to me, the defense, right? For a number of years, besides this year, they've picked it up this year. They started off pretty bad. They got off to a slow start. Steve Spagnuolo has been doing a fine job, I guess. We all know Spags, but he's been doing an all right job there in Kansas City. Even before that, it was bad. I think their defensive coordinator, his name was Bob Sutton or something like that. He was terrible, absolutely. Like, Kansas City has had a terrible defense for a while. I mean, it was like a leading joke on my YouTube channel for a while when I first started with Terrence Mitchell and how bad he was for Kansas City. It was so bad over there, and I really don't want the New York Giants to let this defense go downhill after what we're building there. So that's my only concern about Ryan Poles, and see how he builds the defense, or continues to build the defense. And my last concern, which was Peters. My biggest concern for the 49ers assistant GM Adam Peters is consistency, right? The 49ers have constantly one of the better rosters in the NFL, and they're constantly finding a way to be just mediocre. You look at them this year, they've lost some stupid games. They even found their way. I mean, they could have been up there and really competing for the NFC West. Instead, I think they finished 9-8 this year, somewhere around middle of the pack. Were they 9-8 or 10-7? I can't remember.
One out of the two. I will say they came on strong towards the end of the year. Right, and you saw it in the playoff game where they eliminated Dallas. Like they did. They're a team that, like, playoff teams probably don't want to meet right now, because they finished strong. But I agree with your overall point.
And if you look at, even after the Super Bowl run, where'd they go? What record did they have? After that, it was a losing record, wasn't it?
That was the year they had a lot of injuries, though. That was 2020, where everybody on their team went out.
That's true. But I mean, they've had a big problem with consistency over the past couple of years, and it's not like the Giants are in any position to say we don't want we don't want us to
I
be
will
good
say though,
one year and bad the next year. But
Edward in the chat brings up a good point with the injuries. Like 2020 was the year we know of them to have like the biggest injuries, but they had injuries this year as well. Mm-hmm. And I will put a little bit of coaching in there as well because I feel like
that
a little bit of Atlanta's
point.
Coach. I feel like a little bit of Atlanta's curse is with Kyle Shanahan, man. Sometimes I really think this man can't close out games.
It brings up a good point with coaching, but who finds the coaches? It's the GMs. Who allows the coaches
GM, not the assistant GM.
The
assistant GM helps in it, yeah.
That, like I said, but the only way to really evaluate these guys of where the team or where they're, it's not a fair way. I guess it's not a fair way to. It's just expressing concern.
Yeah, I wouldn't because like at that point, Kyle Shanahan's already there. And I don't think he's done enough to get fired as well, right? So that's what I'll say to that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that. That's the only concerns I have with those candidates. And they're not even big concerns because we don't. Obviously, they're probably not going to do exactly what they're doing with the teams there are now. It's all situational based and what team they're going to and how they collectively want to build the team with their front office.
And I gotta say one thing with all the. Can't believe I'm saying this. Shout out to Steve Tisch.
Oh, God.
Steve Tisch, co-owner of the New York Giants, that forgets he's the co-owner of the New York Giants like 500 times every single year, actually pulled through and low-key saved this franchise, bro. Because we all heard the report. Mara wanted to keep Judge. Steve Tisch said, nah, blow it up. And we are where we are right now because of that. So shout out to Steve Tisch because we wouldn't even be doing this good of a GM search, which props to the Giants. Props to, it hurts me to say this, John Mara, and props to Steve Tisch because this is a really, really, really good GM search. Not only in terms of the wide array of candidates that we're bringing in, but every single candidate every single one of those 9 candidates that we've interviewed, I liked all of them.
Yeah, and Steve Tisch over the past couple of years, I'm not going to go ahead and just like say I like this guy all of a sudden, but Steve Tisch over the past couple of years, I will be honest with you, even going back to 2017, he has been more vocal about the Giants and wanting to get change done than John Mara has. John Mara has been more of a more laid back guy and says he wants to change things, but things obviously never happen. Steve Tisch has been you guys can go back over the past couple of years and see Steve Tisch's quotes of how he just wants to, get rid of everything, and he's not happy with what the Giants are right now, and he looks more serious and he sounds more serious than a John Mara did back then. So if it was Steve Tisch, then props to him for wanting to blow everything up. Because it is the right direction. Although I really like Joe Judge, you guys know I like Joe Judge, and I feel like any team could use him with more if he had more experience. And I feel like if he stood here a little longer, he would eventually get to that point. But we just couldn't wait. But I'm happy with moving on. I'm happy with the candidates we have at GM. I'm so happy that they're all like I go through these guys' resumes and they're just like they're just fantastic. They're great.
And that brings me to another point. But real quick, Adrian. Tomeyoso, what's up, man? He says if a GM comes here and just fires Eli, LOL. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't care. It's not like Eli has an important position. The man has a made-up position.
Fest, man. He has
a made-up position. He's like head of fan interaction or something. And low-key, we all got on John Mara for the medium Pepsi thing. But if Eli was head of fan interaction, he probably had a hand in that medium Pepsi thing too. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. That's all I'm going to say.
What if we get a million Pepsis?
That's all I'm going to say, man. But he has a made-up position. It's not like he has anything important. He's fine. The Manning cast is absolutely amazing. I'm finally seeing a bunch of Eli and Payne commercials again. Like, he's going to be fine, yo. Like, it doesn't matter. And then what you were saying with the resumes, and moving back to another point, it's a great search that they're doing, which just makes the search in 2017 look so terrible.
Oh
because it was. Looking back at it, it was. We had 3 dudes,
Lewis Riddick, Dave Gettleman. Who was the other one?
I don't even know. But I remember that we had 3 candidates. And I remember that a decision was made very quickly. A decision was made like within a week or something like that.
Dave Gettleman went very, very quickly. And then,
people have said, and I tend to agree with them at this point, they were like, it was as if the Giants knew from the beginning Gelman was their candidate, and they were just doing the interview for the sake of doing interviews.
Yeah, and I didn't even, and when Pat Shermer's name was mentioned as head coach after Dave Gettleman was hired, Pat Shermer was like at the bottom of my list, dude. Like I did not want Pat Shermer. And then we get Pat Shermer. and it's just, and you look at the, like I said, look at the resumes of these 9 candidates. They haven't come from garbage organizations and teams. Like I'm looking at the Minnesota Vikings. I think they interviewed somebody from the Browns. Like we're not doing that. We're not getting guys from Detroit. We're not getting guys from Cleveland. We're not getting guys from Jacksonville. All right, we're getting guys from
every single
Chiefs,
every single
Ravens,
candidate
Bills,
comes from
Tennessee,
a really
Arizona.
good team. Yeah, it comes from a winning team. And the reason I brought up Peters and Shane being with their teams for the past 4 years is because with that specific timeline, the 4 to 5 year timeline for every single candidate, each of those teams had some sort of turnaround for the better. I said the Bills had a turnaround. I told you guys about the 49ers. The Chiefs, they had a turnaround in the sense that they weren't bad before, but they just got better. They took up a notch when Patrick Mahomes got there. Tennessee, that was around the same time that Derrick Henry started popping off and they got Ryan Tannehill. They started figuring out some things and they became like a playoff mainstay. Arizona, that was when they had the Josh Rosen thing and stuff going around, but they were in a rebuild mode 4 to 5 years ago. And then, of course, they turned it around when they got Kyler Murray. Like, all of that thing is, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's very important to take note of.
And you see all the top tier candidates we're bringing in. I think the one that was the 2 that was most inexperienced to me was probably Quentin Harris and Rand Carthon. Those were probably the most inexperienced, but they were good candidates. Like even so,
that's what I like every one of them.
Good candidates. And what does that tell you about this New York Giants franchise? So it's still a destination. It's still a land.
And I'll say this. With the Cardinals, you mentioned Quentin. No. Who'd you mention?
Harris. Quentin Harris. Yeah.
Quentin Harris from the Cardinals, right? The other Cardinals guy, Adrian Wilson, I also like as well.
I like
even like I said, I find myself saying that with almost every single one of these candidates, which is once again is a credit to the GM search. But Adrian Wilson, I was saying he could be a sleeper. He was like the most successful player turned front office guy that we had. And he came up also in the scouting department, so he was doing his job very well in player evaluation. Now, the Cardinals draft is not exactly a draft that I love to look at every year in, year out. But regardless, I really liked him as a candidate.
Yeah, especially, he was so successful. And even though there's no point in talking about him now because he's not one of the finalists, but just a shout out to Adrian Wilson. He was a very successful player, made All-Pro like 3 times, made multiple Pro Bowls. And I remember his name too. That's why when it was brought up, I'm like, Adrian Wilson, Cardinals. That sounds like he played and he was a safety. And
Cardinals always seem to find great safeties, man.
And he went into the scouting department in 2015. So he had a whole 6-7 years learning how to be a scout.
Exactly.
And I think that was a great resume to have, to not only play the game but be a part of the front office too for quite a bit of time. 6 years is a good amount of time, especially for a player, coming from a player. So
now here's
shout
the
out
thing
to all
with
the
the candidates,
man. Shout out to all the candidates.
Here's the thing with the candidates that the Giants need to do, which is get them in quickly, with these interviews, which they have been doing with at least the finalists, the final 3. And I'm glad they're doing that, because in the video I put out yesterday talking about those finalists, I think it was from G-Men HQ I got this piece of information from. They were like, there's like 4 of our 9 guys that we're interviewing that are already being, trying to be picked up by other teams. Like specifically the NFC North. It was only the Bears, the Vikings.
Yeah,
Bears, Vikings, like 1 Raiders in there. They were trying to get both of the guys from the 49ers. I think they were trying to get Adrian Wilson from the Cardinals. Like the candidates we were interviewing, it's another good sign when other teams are trying to poach them.
Yeah, Poles did an interview for the Vikings. I don't know if Shane did, yeah. I don't know if Shane interviewed for anybody else.
Which we should talk about.
Yeah,
because there's been a lot of rumors.
And that's weird. But that's weird though. He's like the everybody's number 1 guy.
There's a lot of rumors / reports / whatever you want to call it.
The GM, right?
That is his job to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that he wants to come to, which is crazy to think about, because the Giants have been one of the worst franchises in the NFL over the past 4 to 5 years, right?
Look at the candidates we have.
But that's what I'm saying. But somehow, some way, it's still an attractive destination.
Yeah.
Because the best general manager candidate on the market, is Joe Shane. and he's only done interview with the Giants. He hasn't done interview with anybody else.
There's Bears interviewed him, Mike says.
There you go. That one guy. The Bears ain't no competition.
He ain't going to the damn Bears.
There was 2 reports saying that there's mutual interest between Joe and the Giants and Joe. And then, of course, from day one, there was rumors saying that when he comes there, he's bringing Brian Daboll. And then recently, even more rumors came out saying that if he gets the job with the Giants, his head coach #1 candidate is going to be Brian Daboll. So it's
that would be amazing.
That entire process almost seems too good to be true. But the fact that he's only interviewed with like one other person, I don't know. It adds a little bit something to it.
Since we are now talking head coach, okay, we just seen this news, and I guess I'll let everybody know. You guys probably seen it already. I guess this is real now. This is an actual source. I guess an actual source. I mean, it's NYG Daily, but or I think NYG Daily put it on Twitter, but he got it from another source. So the Giants have requested to interview with former Atlanta head coach.
This is not from NYG Daily. This is from Tom Pelissero. It's like from a like D legit guy.
I seen it from NYG Daily. I guess he retweeted from Tom Pelissero. So the Giants have requested an interview with former Atlanta head coach and former Super Bowl appearing head coach, Dan Quinn. Listen, this one's interesting because I'm not a Dan Quinn guy at all, right? But it seems like wherever he goes, he finds at least some success where he goes, right? He was the defensive coordinator for the Legion of Boom, all right? That was him. He goes to Atlanta, and although his defense always sucked, which he's a defensive-minded head coach is weird, his offense was absolutely insane because of Kyle Shanahan. And they made it to a Super Bowl. They eventually choked that Super Bowl. And then he goes to Dallas, and Dallas has a formidable defense. Like, I mean, I know there's the addition of Micah Parsons, right? There's the addition, Trevon Diggs breakout year, right?
Which I will say you definitely do gotta ask, because it was a Cowboys fan that told me this. He said as soon as Dan Quinn got hired by the Cowboys last offseason, there was like somewhere around 50% of player turnover on the defense, which means he had a hand in letting go of players and acquiring the new ones on the defensive side of the ball.
So, I mean, I know a lot of people like to they want to barf when they see Dan Quinn's name, and then especially being, interviewed for the Giants. I just say, let's see what happens. I don't think he's going to be the guy, because I think there's going to be better candidates out there, even guys that have never been head coaches, like a Brian Daboll, I think is more. Especially if we get another young quarterback, or even if it's Daniel Jones for this year, I think Brian Daboll is going to have a bigger impact on this team than a Dan Quinn will. But
I agree. And part of that, part of that has to do with a lot of people wanting an offensive-minded head coach, which, because of how bad our offense has been, I tend to agree with. But we've tried that before, and honestly, my initial reaction, you guys saw it on Twitter, was me saying nah with a picture of Future looking at like the person next to him sideways. And it's like I've kind of, and I even retweeted that a couple times saying I might need to retract this. Shout out to Diggy. He was the one that was talking to me about it that made me initially think about this, because I'm like, he's kind of the guy I've been asking for. I've said I want a guy that's been a head coach before. Checks that box off. I said I want a guy that as a head coach had good amount of success. I mean, took his team to the Super Bowl. That's a good amount of success. And even though they did fall off after that Super Bowl, I think they had 1 or 2 more playoff years after it. So they did have success. Checks that box off. And want a guy that's helped turn the team around. Atlanta, before he got there, was a 4-win team, I want to say. And like either last or second to last in the division. So checks that box off. Which I was surprised. I'm like, objectively speaking, he checks off the boxes that I have, which are not easy for any coach to check off, because it's him, it's Brian Daboll, and it's Jim Caldwell. And Jim Harbaugh, if you want to throw that in there, right? But with that being said, which is why I'm like, I reel myself back in. I think a lot of Giants fans also need to reel themselves back in and need to actually realize, he's a really good coach at the NFL, and he's been a good head coach.
He deserves to be in the NFL, but it's
however, it doesn't take away from my initial trepidation about him, I guess you could say.
That's a big word. Wow.
Because the small word wasn't coming to me.
Hold on, I never heard that word in my life. Go ahead, say that again.
Trepidation. I think I'm saying it right.
That was.
You know where that's from?
That was good.
That was from my school pledge in primary school in Guyana or something like that. That word was in there, bro.
Those words in the pledge?
Yeah.
Bro.
But the smaller word isn't coming to me, man. What's the smaller word for that? My initial not this like my initial wariness, I guess, of him.
Issue. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is, you guys get the
Skepticism.
idea. Skepticism, I guess,
There
would
we
be it,
go. I mean, that's the biggest word
right?
I could come up with right that.
So
But
it doesn't take away from that because, like you were saying, when he was head coach, for some reason his defense was not it, even though he's a defensive guy, and his offense was the driving force of that Atlanta team. And as soon as Kyle Shanahan went away, there's a direct correlation between Kyle Shanahan leaving and the Atlanta Falcons collapsing in on themselves over the next couple of years. There is a direct correlation. So, I think my skepticism is warranted, but at the same time, I definitely think that Giants fans should go back and give Dan Quinn another look because he is a good head coaching candidate, whether they think so or not.
I just want to address this. D'Amico Ryans will never wear Giants blue. He's a former Eagle. Okay. Anyway. That being said, yeah, I completely agree. Like when I initially first saw this, it's probably just like everybody else. When I initially first saw Dan Quinn being requested, I was like, oh man, I don't want Dan Quinn. But I go back and think about it. I'm like, dude, he was success. He's been successful this year. I mean, he turned that Cowboys defense around. They were like historically bad last year, and this is not the first time the Dallas Cowboys have been historically bad at defense. And I remember, I think it was 2013 or 2014, they were like historically bad or something like that. I could be wrong.
Had to be 13 because 14 was the Des caught year or something like that. So
they were in the playoffs. 13. They were historically bad that year too. But he found a way to turn that around. Like I said, with the addition of those two players. Some mods, do your thing. I don't know why we're getting spammers here, and I'm not really a guy that really cares about that. But I just want everybody else. I want to see everybody's comment.
At least it's not terrible. So he just spamming emojis. The first one was the Cowboys emoji. Now it's the Eagles emoji.
I know, but it's just like it's too damn much, man. It's too damn much.
Yeah.
That being said, like I said, go back and he was successful with the Cowboys this year. I mean, he had somewhat success. He really fell off, like I said, like you said, when Kyle Shanahan left the Atlanta Falcons. But before that, I mean, he looked like a good coach. But the only problem was he's a defensive-minded head coach. Never got that Atlanta defense turned around. You could argue injuries, but it's next man up. You know what I'm saying? So Keanu Neal got hurt like every year. Deion Jones too. I mean, a lot of these guys got hurt for Atlanta constantly. But Vic Beasley as well. But there's just no excuse for that. That being said,
then that also brings up
going back to Seattle as well. When he was a defensive coordinator for Seattle, I mean that's why he became a head coach. The Legion of Boom. I mean, there was a lot of good things that Richard Sherman said too to get to get Dan Quinn that the job in Atlanta. But the Legion of Boom was a very, very good defense, extremely good defense. And, Dan Quinn was a big part of that. So, I mean, just think about it, guys. Just think about it. I know he's probably not going to be the guy, but if this is the first candidate that we're bringing in,
and then
it's
also
not a bad first candidate.
Before you finish that thought, because to add on to that, you were talking about how he was in Atlanta with that defense. Mm-hmm. One thing we need to keep in mind is that if he's paired with a good general manager, which we're all hoping we get, I don't think that's going to be repeated because Seattle had a great front office when that Legion of Boom was there because everybody raved about that 2011, 2012 draft. Those two draft classes that helped build that Legion of Boom, get Russell Wilson in there as well on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Dallas, for all the crap we give them, Dallas ends up having good drafts every single year. Every single year they have a good draft. That helps out with building the team.
Yeah, you're right. They actually hit their early round picks a lot, but let's be real. Their mid round picks are very bad. They are. Their mid-round picks.
Mid-round being third and fourth.
No, I would say
fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, third.
Third round is a fourth.
Yeah, you're right. So third, fourth, fifth. I mean, I've seen like defensive tackles go out and wide receivers, and they've had the same wide receivers for years. So obviously they didn't work out. I mean, cornerbacks as well.
Well, it's too early to judge the 2021 one, even though I think they had a good mid-round. But let me see if I could find a.
Yeah, let me go back
the 2020 instead of the 2021 one. Let me see if I can find the 2021. Of course, they're asking me to turn off ad blocker, so I will do that.
Hell no! All right.
So Neville Gallimore, I think that was a pretty good pick in the third round. Reggie Robinson, I don't even know where that dude is, but they had Tyler Biotish in the fourth round, which was an amazing pick to me.
That was a slam dunk pick that we wanted for like multiple picks though. So I mean,
Bradley Anae is also a good pick. He's underrated as a rotational.
Nahshon Wright, where is he at? He was.
I don't know where James Madison is.
Nahshon Wright in this year's draft. Nahshon Wright was projected to be an undrafted player, and they drafted him in the third round.
Were you talking about the 2021 draft?
Yeah.
Well, I literally just said like we can't look at
Yeah, we can't.
2021
I know
because
we
it just
can't look at that,
happened.
but where is he now? I mean, I don't even see Nation right on the
I
field.
mean, if you're gonna talk about third round, their other third round pick, Osa Odigizua, was pretty good.
Yeah, Osa is good. Osa
You know what
is
I'm
good.
saying? So
I
it's
mean,
like
but he was
even
he was
just
he was
like
a
how
second
with the
round
fourth
grade
round,
though. He was a second round grade.
but they got him in the third round. So
Yeah,
we're about
yeah,
to
yeah,
say, oh, it's a bad thing because they got him in the third.
yeah.
It's just like the 2021 where I was like, oh, they had one bad fourth round pick, but they made it up with it for Tyler Biotish. It's like, and then I'm gonna go back to 2019 now to see what they had.
Go to 2019. Tristan Hill in the second round. They hate Tristan Hill in Dallas. Connor McGovern, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
Connor McGovern, good pick in the third.
I don't even
Tony
think he's still.
Pollard,
I don't think
amazing
he's
pick
still
in
with
the
the team.
fourth.
Is he? Is he still? Is he still starting? He's still
Well,
with
he
the
wouldn't be starting anymore.
yeah.
The year that he started his rookie year, they had injuries on the O line,
Right, but he's not
which
even
was what
playing with them,
forced him to
right?
start.
So Tristan Hill gone. Connor McGovern, I
No,
think he's gone.
he's still with the team.
Tristan
He's still with
Hill?
the team. No, Connor McGovern.
Oh,
And Tristan
McGovern.
Hill is
Okay.
their second round pick, so that's not mid round.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but still, Tristan Hill is an early round pick. Michael Jackson, where is he? Joe Jackson, where is he?
Why are you
Not,
skipping over like Tony Pollard is their
no,
best back?
yeah, Tony Pollard. Yeah, Tony Pollard. I skipped over him because he's a good pick. I'm talking about picks that were bad.
Yeah, I know, I
Um,
get that, but like they're building a good they're
Nice.
hitting on picks, man. They are hitting on picks. No, but anyway, the point I was trying to make is that it's a better front office than what was with Atlanta in Dan Quinn's time there. I think that plays a factor. Like if we go and we look at Atlanta's drafts, because you want to talk about building a good roster on the defense side of the ball, I think that affects as well, however, the entire team on the defense would perform.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it does Dan Quinn's evaluation.
let me hit the super chat real quick from Yankee King. Appreciate the $5 super chat, Yankee King. He says, when the new GM is hired, I hope this is a 2-year rebuild and trades Bradbury, Martinez, Shepard, Jones, Rudolph, Barkley, Lawrence, Gates, Slayton in 2022. Gates, you're not going to be able to trade. You're not going to get anything for Gates. Dexter Lawrence, you may be able to get something for him if you wanted to completely reset. Barkley is going to be hard, but very understandable. He's the guy I want to trade as well. Rudolph, I think, has one more year on his contract. He's not being traded. Jones, you could be able to trade. Shepard, don't think anybody's going to take his $11 million a year contract. Martinez, able
Shepard
to
is
trade.
done. Remember, he ended his season with the Achilles or something.
Right. And then Shepard, Martinez, you could be able to trade. And Bradbury, I think you're able to trade. You got to look at the dead cap.
Before you get to the next one, I really, really want to keep Martinez and Bradbury if we can. And I think we can do it because we've been consistently, like every offseason, restructuring our contracts.
I know.
If they're down for it and they want to stay, restructure it again and keep them, man. Like those guys, I don't know how people already undervalue them. It's only their second year here. Like, did that bad year really affect people's thoughts of James Bradbury? Like, he's still a really good cornerback. He didn't have the great year he had last year, but neither did anybody on the defense. Blake Martinez went out with the injury, you know?
Listen, I think people aren't really concerned about their play. I think they're just more concerned about the money that they're taking up. So they want to be able, because remember, we are in such a bad spot right now. We are paying the amount of cap space that we're using for next year is that of championship type teams. Like, we're paying guys championship type money and we're crap. So I think people just want to reset, save money, start building like the Indianapolis Colts. For the Colts for years, ever since I've been on here and I've been looking at other teams in free agency and stuff like that, the Colts for years, going back to 2015, since I've been doing this, have always been top of the freaking draft capital. I mean, what's it called? Not draft. Free agency money, whatever. Cap space.
Okay, yeah.
Cap space. I don't know why that completely went out of my head, but cap space. They've always been at the top of the league in cap space. Indianapolis Colts. I don't know where they're at right now because I know they paid some players, but they've always been the top, and they've always built through the draft and only spent money when they needed to bring in one or two big free agents that really help their team. I think that's what people really want right now. They just want to reset, start all over, start saving money, roll over money, and then build through the draft and spend money as you see fit in necessary situations. I think that's what
guys,
people really
breaking
want.
news.
Oh no.
Can I share my screen?
Hold on.
Because what is this? Hold up. Oh, I stopped cam.
Wait, is it on Twitter?
I'm gonna share screen.
What's going on, dude? You're scaring me.
Bro, look at this.
I'm just seeing you share a bunch of stuff. Hold on. All right, let me add the stream. Transactions. No way. Somebody edited that. There's no freaking way. Yeah, he's already hired. Going through the protocol now. Hold on. There's only one way we can get through this. There's only one way. ESPN.com. All right. Let's go to NFL. I didn't even know ESPN had their own transactions thing like that. Where's their transactions?
What? It's there.
No.
Huh?
No way.
Look at my screen. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong tab. Hold. Let me share a Chrome tab.
Hey,
breaking news?
Here
Question
on
mark?
the Young Guns podcast.
What?
This is just like when Odell Beckham got traded.
Excuse me? Do you guys see this? Are you seeing what I am seeing?
Wow. But that says January 7th.
That's not true, Edward. Why is it you guys see the website that I'm on, bro? What do you mean it's not true?
Dude, but that says January 7th though.
I know, but like, damn, it's there.
Named. Wow. Named. What is going on? What is going on? You know, somebody read that in the Buffalo transaction sheet or whatever like that. There's like a sheet in the I guess it's the newspaper. I don't know where that sheet was from, but it's in printed writing, and it said that I'll leave that in the stream and then put our faces there. It said that that Joe Shane was named GM as well. Edward says that's not true. January 7th. I'm also saying that as well. January 7th, but it's ESPN though. Like who?
Like that's an egregious mistake.
Yeah, that's an egregious mistake.
Yeah.
I would like to keep Daniel Jones. I hear you no more. That's
ridiculous.
That is something.
And
I guess
it wouldn't be the first time we have breaking news on the Young Guns podcast. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. If it is true,
just for the news, guys, we did sign Alex Bachman to a future reserve contract. So there's some breaking news for you guys as well.
Where?
January 6th, after we fired Joe Judge. It says fire Joe Judge. Oh, by the way, sign Alex Bachman to reserve. Way to follow up.
No, I agree with you, Edward. But even though it's listed January 7th, the reason people were tweeting about it like literally 30 minutes ago is because it didn't pop up until 30 minutes ago. So I'm gonna just,
guys, remember ESPN, NFL.com, they hear their sources first, right? And maybe somebody heard something, was told not to post it, and forgot to not post it. Maybe this was a mistake, and we see it all the time. We see this type of stuff all the time. We really do. I can't think of an example. I'll be honest with you right now.
I don't know.
But we do see this type of stuff all the time where things are hinted at us and it actually comes true. Where things are hinted, like when players sign other places.
We'll keep this up for like another, 10 minutes or something.
Yeah. Hey,
because I wouldn't take this out right now, man.
Listen, if that happens, then it might be a good reason why the Giants already requested for Dan Quinn to be, brought in for an interview. If that already happened, like I said, a couple of days ago.
All right, real quick, y'all take care of Flash again. And Mike, spam is what Flash is doing right now. I saw you talk to somebody about spam earlier. The other guy, Ignacio, wasn't spamming. He was just putting multiple comments in a row. Like spam is when they're saying the same thing over and over again. They keep posting it. So yeah.
Yeah. Albin says Bradbury's about 16 mil. He's 30 years old. Need to get younger quarterback. I get that, but James Bradbury is still a top tier corner in this league, and he's someone I know he's garnering a big contract, but he's someone I really don't want to let go of, especially if the dead money really doesn't benefit us. If it's like anything over $10 million of dead money, I'm not letting go of James Bradbury to save $6 million. I'm just not doing it. Did we hire Shane?
Did you get the second super chat by Lil Yankee, by the way?
There was a second.
You read the first one. I don't think you read the second one.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it went. I guess I thought that was the first one. I didn't even. Sorry, Yankee King. $5 super chat. I appreciate that, man. He says, and trades Williams, Galladay. He had more to the list. Williams, Galladay, Jackson, and Ryan in 2023. But Ryan, I don't think in 2023 because I think he's only signed until the end of 2022, if I'm not mistaken, right? And trade all those guys in 22 and 23 for draft picks to rebuild the smart way. I could agree with that, but I don't think you're going to be getting much for the guys you mentioned. Galladay, you can definitely get something for. Williams, you can definitely get something for because they're on big contracts and they're at the beginning of their contracts. Ryan, you're not going to get anything for. Ryan is don't even know why we signed him for that kind of money. And then going back to your other list, the Yankee King, Bradbury, you could get something for, but I'd be very hesitant to let go of him. Martinez, you could get something for. Shepard, you're not getting anything. Jones, you can get little to nothing. Rudolph, you're not getting anything. Barkley, little to nothing, but he's necessary to move. Lawrence, you can get something out for Lawrence. Gates, nothing. Slayton, nothing. But you have some guys that can get you something. That can have
So
a
here's the
positive
thing.
impact.
To zig that's I don't know if you're just tuning in or something, but
Namar, we don't know. This is all speculation.
we
Namar.
we addressed it earlier where it's like, yeah, it could be fake news, and because it's listed January 7th, but this like actual transaction wasn't listed like 30 minutes ago. Twitter is exploding right now,
Wait, how
or
do we
about to
know? Who
explode,
said that? Did somebody
because
say that?
30 minutes ago is when people start seeing it on there. You're telling me Giants fans are not checking daily, like the transaction page on
I
the
don't know.
ESPN,
Maybe
bro?
maybe one person saw it and then they started posting it, and that's how it went viral. But maybe
All I'll
nobody really saw
say
it.
is that whether it wasn't there or whatever it is, everybody discovering it now. And this would be a very big mistake by ESPN. At least it ain't Photoshop. It's just there. Like, it's actually on the website if you want to go check for yourself.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's crazy. That really is. And listen, like I said, this is not the only place we've seen Joe Shane be named general manager. It happened also. You know what? Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter where it was a Buffalo like newspaper from Buffalo because he's from obviously he works in Buffalo. It's like a transaction sheet from a Buffalo newspaper or some sort of transaction sheet, and it said also the Giants hired Joe Shane as general manager. No joke.
Really? So if I
Yeah.
go to Buffalo right here, don't do this to me, bro. If I go to Buffalo and I go to transactions, you're telling me it's there?
No. It was from like a newspaper. It was printed.
Okay.
It was
Okay. It was
printed.
printed.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Hey, man,
Let me
listen.
see here. Let me see if I can
It's
find
something
it.
else, man.
Uh, while I find this, where did I see it, man? I hope I didn't see it on Instagram. Otherwise, that's lost now.
This is ridiculous. Christopher
Yeah.
said the ESPN intern pulled a fast one, probably. Zig said, "What if it's a typo? What would that mean? Then they
Typo.
hired him on the 17th? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Like,
because people can't say, "Oh, well, what if they meant to say interview?" Like, no, they would have put everybody else as interviews as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is it's something. It's something. That's all I could say about it, I guess. And if you guys have any more questions about it, we'll obviously answer it. But what was even the next topic after Dan Quinn that we were gonna talk about?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we talked about the GMs, what we liked, what we disliked. Talked about the potential head coach. I mean,
Oh no, we only talked about Dan Quinn. We didn't actually talk about any other potential
well,
head
we
coach
had
candidates.
he's the only like at because a lot of people keep bringing up Brian Daboll. We don't even know anything about Brian Daboll yet. If the Giants really want Brian Daboll, I mean, I guess we can kind of conclude that, right? But there's nothing solid there yet, and there's nothing solid about Harbaugh either. Although he's making a lot of news as well. I mean, you can name some guys out there. I won't say here that they're definite guys are going to be brought in for the Giants, but I mean, you could go ahead and name guys that you're really interested in. My guy is Brian Daboll as well, by the way. But I
That's what I
mean,
was saying earlier. By the way, shout out Rayvon. What's up, man? How you doing? Where Dice was saying, how come nobody has noticed this since the 7th? That's what I'm like. It's weird. It's been like 12 days since the 7th. You telling me nobody's noticed it? Hey, it's Jon Snow Targaryen. I haven't seen that man in a minute.
huh.
But let me ask you a question, kid, related to the head coaching thing. So we have our 3 finalists. Give me, along with those 3 finalists, 2 head coaches you'd like for them to hire. So like it could be two different head coaches with each finalist or something if you want.
See, the thing is, like I said, I don't have a big variety because I don't really know who's going to be on the market, right? So obviously, with Shane, my number one target would be with Shane would be Brian Daboll because their relationship in Buffalo. I don't really know where they would go if we get the 49ers guy Adam Peters. I really call me crazy. I like that. I like that offensive coordinator. He's really cool. That 49ers offensive coordinator. I don't think he's head coach material. I just really don't. But I would like to bring him in for something. But I don't know. I don't really know if we bring in Adam Peters, who are the candidates for a head coach. I don't really know. I don't know what the market is right now. I haven't really looked into guys from other teams that are willing to leave their teams to be head coaches. So,
Mm-hmm.
Flores is a guy, but the more I see about Flores, the more I probably really don't want Flores. Yeah, Mike McDaniel. Mike
So
McDaniel.
you expand on that a little bit because I made a video last week saying Blind Forest would be like I think the perfect head coach for us. And then literally an hour or two after I made the video, a lot of stuff started coming out about him, about how
Yeah.
he was behind the scenes and whatnot. So go
Well,
ahead and
well,
expand.
yeah. I it's very vague for me, but you know, to keep it short, I've seen that Brian Flores was really quiet with the rest of the team around him. Did not, although they won, and I saw some reports that they won in spite of Brian Flores, which is very interesting because I heard that his coaching staff below him did not, they were not talking to him, like he didn't talk to them. He didn't give them any plans. He didn't, let them give him heads up about anything. He just did his own thing. The same thing with the players as well. Same thing with the front office as well. Brian Flores was in his own world. He was very head to head with the upper front office. He was very head to head with his coaching staff, and it just wasn't a good relationship. And I think that's going to turn whatever GM, whether that be Shane, whether it be Peters or Poles, it's going to turn them off when even thinking about Brian Flores, because they don't want a guy to have to bring problems, So, I thought I liked Flores. I really did. And I don't know if these rumors are happening to kind of tarnish his integrity, right? To kind of tarnish his reputation. But from everything that I'm hearing about Brian Flores most recently, like I said, don't know if it's exactly true. That's very concerning. You don't want a head coach out of everybody, like offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, Mark Colombo, right? Players like freaking Odell Beckham. Like, I get you're gonna have distractions at other positions. You do not want your biggest distraction to be your head coach. You don't want that. So if you hear that a coach is kind of acting like a diva player, like a diva wide receiver, I don't want that. I really don't. And I thought he was a leader of men. I thought he was a really good leader for the Miami Dolphins. But I from everything I'm hearing, I'm just turned off by Brian Flores, man. I really am.
Okay. So do you guys know what the Wayback Machine is? So the Wayback Machine is a website on the internet, like that basically archives any any and every website on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes snapshot of whatever page you type in the link of looked like on that day, or somebody uploads a snapshot of it. So what I'm about to do is I'm gonna stop sharing this. I'm just gonna share my entire screen right here, right? So you guys could see what I'm doing. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Wayback Machine, and I'm going to type in the link for ESPN Giants transactions. Can you put that up there?
Yeah, hold on. Let me find that transaction thing, but I'll put this up here. Go ahead.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see this. We're going to copy this, right? Go over to here. I already entered it, and so it's loaded up. And we can see there's a snapshot from the 4th, and there's a snapshot from the 10th, meaning that somebody took an image of what this page looked like on January 10th.
Damn.
So let's go back and see if the Joe Schoen thing is listed there, because the transaction says the 7th. But if on January 10th we don't see it, it means it's a recent development. Which, take that however you will.
Hold on. So they snapshotted that on January
10th. On January 10th.
So what was January 4th?
January 4th, I don't know. This was before Joe Judge got fired. We could look at that one first, so I doubt it's going to be there. Because remember, the transaction is listed as the 7th, right? So on January 4th,
so those are when it was updated? You can go back to each update? Is that what you're talking about?
This is just when they took a snapshot of it, bro.
Who? Like, I'm sorry.
The Wayback Machine, the people that run the website, the Internet Archive website, right? Like you see right up here, it's the Internet Archive.
So you're not doing it to an image, like the actual screenshot, right?
What are you asking?
I'm asking if you're like tracing back the date of a screenshot, or if you're tracing back the date of a web link. I'm confused.
So what it does, the way it records pages of a website is by taking a screenshot.
Record pages. Okay, I thought you were taking that exact screenshot of what you saw there.
Listen, it says that they have one snapshot from January 10th of this link, right? Okay. This link is this right here. So we're gonna see what this web page looked like back on January 10th. This is listed as January 7th. So basically, if this transaction isn't there on the 10th, that means whatever you want it to be, right? Like that could be, yo, this is legit. So let's see. And it's not there. What they have listed up to here is the 5th.
Huh.
Right? You can see it up there, January 10th, 2022. Take that however you want to take that.
So wait, question. All right, question. Go back to the 4th.
Okay, let's go back to the 4th.
Nothing's gonna show up, right? All right, okay.
No data.
Huh. So they're pretty accurate with their. Okay. They're pretty accurate with their updating. And man, you can't go back to any other dates. You just those two. So, And those dates. See, why can't you go back to other dates?
Because it all depends on when somebody that like helps the upkeep of the website, somebody that runs the website, it all depends on when they had time to go and take snapshots of it. It's not like they have millions of workers,
right?
Because they try to record like as many websites as they can. They try to record.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, I'm surprised they even got one of that of a random Giants transaction.
And you can see where it started. They started back in 2016.
Wow. Wow, but hey, I guess we take with that as we will, huh?
Yeah, take that however you want to take it, man.
Nice.
Take that however you want to take it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nice. Well, listen, I hope that's the case, man. I really hope that's the case there. That the Giants brought in Shane, and it's his job to lose, and he's pretty much the GM. But that really, like, how would Peters feel? He hasn't even gone for a second interview yet.
I know that brings up something, right? So that brings up something right now. If this is true, what it suggests is something I don't necessarily like, which is they made their decision a while ago, and that these interviews don't matter, which is a bad thing because you always want to hear out what every candidate has to say.
Unless they have a favorite. Well, they shouldn't make their favorite public, right? Because obviously, as ESPN puts that up, they leaked it to somebody, right? They gave it to a source. If they had an internal favorite, they should keep it internal, right? And then wait for those other, like, you could always have a favorite, right? You could always have a favorite guy, but let everybody be interviewed first, just in case somebody wows you, and then you go on from there. Like, you look at when Joe Judge got hired, Joe Judge wowed them.
Mike, this doesn't suggest it was fake. If anything, it suggests that it was real more than anything.
Yeah, because it was literally just updated. It wasn't updated on the 7th.
It suggests that it was
on the 10th.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it was there on the 7th and like no Giants fan noticed it, which is what I brought up earlier. That would be weird. You tell me not a single Giants fan with internet connection noticed that. What it suggests is that it was updated recently, whether that's today or the past couple of days. It was updated recently.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, that it wasn't updated on the 10th. So it was literally 3 days that it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So that means somebody, I guess somebody forgot to post it on January 7th. Listen, like you said, this would be bad, right? But I think the Giants already knew who they were going to hire as GM already, and they had to get these interviews out the way. But they told a source, "Hey, this is who we're going to hire." By the way, real quick,
shout out to Avets. He was the one that gave me the idea for the Wayback Machine.
But basically, I guess the Giants told the source, "Hey, this is who we're going to hire. Wait to post this until we actually finalize it and confirm that this is our GM." Somebody slipped up. They obviously had that archive for at least 3 days, right? For at least 3 days. We don't know what happened on the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. But January 10th, when that was screenshotted, as Kush just showed, it was not there. And that supposedly was on January 7th. And it's supposed to update immediately, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
So also what you would notice is that, can you tell me the date of the season finale? It was January 9th, right? They have listed here on January 5th that Gelman retired.
Ignacio brings up a good point. They didn't have Joe Judge being fired from the snapshot.
Yeah, I said they had up to the 5th listed, right? Now this is with ESPN in general. ESPN has listed on January 5th that Dave Gelman retired. Now we forget the Wayback Machine. We're talking about ESPN, which is 4 days earlier than when Dave Gelman actually retired. He retired on January 9th.
We're doing some freaking conspiracy stuff right now, bro. I love it.
What this would suggest is that the ESPN website is going to be early with every single transaction that they're listing. Because we know Dave Gelman retired on the 9th, but they list it as the 5th.
Dude.
That's early.
Only on the Young Guns podcast, guys. We are on the case, okay? Only on the Young Guns podcast. You're going to get information like this, okay? We are investigating this conspiracy theory.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just putting that out there, man. Shout out to Avets once again.
Yeah, shout out to Avets. Shout out to you guys. I don't believe any of it. ESPN just playing with you. Like I said, let me try to find it. Hold on. Entertain the chat for a little bit. I'm going to find this.
ESPN could very well be playing with us.
Yeah, but it's a.
But
remember,
all I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna repeat, bro. No, I'm just gonna repeat the Dave Gettleman thing. Dave Gettleman retired on January 9th, right after. Actually, not January 9th. Did he retire on January 10th? Did he retire the day after the game?
Yeah.
Or am I tripping?
Yeah.
He retired on January 10th, yo.
We knew he was going to retire because he was taking pictures at the game. But yeah, he's
wait. Dave Gettleman retired on January 10th. ESPN has listed that he retired January 5th. The screenshot we just looked at was from January 10th. The screenshot we just looked at was from January 10th.
I'm telling you,
and before that, the other screenshot did not have Gettleman's retirement. Joe Judge was fired like last week, a couple days ago. The ESPN has it listed as the 6th. There's a consistent pattern of them listing these transactions earlier than what they actually happen. That's all I'm going to say, man. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm trying to find this thing. Entertain the chat real quick. I'm gonna find this other source.
I didn't even. Yo, listen. They tell me to put down the Zaza. There is no Zaza present. There is no Black and Miles present. All I'm doing is recounting to you guys what I'm seeing. That's Frankie G. Yeah, he interviewed on the 12th. Joe Judge got fired on the 10th, but they listed it as the 6th. That's all I'm saying. They could have it listed as the 7th. Like, bro, once again, they're consistently listing earlier dates than what transactions happened.
Christian, the screenshot's not fake. You can go on the website right now.
You can go on the website. It's right there.
Now.
You can go on ESPN website, Giants transaction, Joe Show, named general manager is under transactions.
We literally just did it, guys. We literally just did it. Literally just did it.
All I'm saying.
Oh man,
I don't know if Ash witnessed all of that or if he just tuned back in, but you just missed probably the greatest, like, what was that, 10 minutes of Young Guns ever, bro.
Oh man, yeah, that was. Oh, Christian said, "Oh snap!" So based on this, Joe is the GM. I guess
if you were to believe it, yeah. I'm not gonna tell y'all what to believe.
Yeah, I'm not gonna set it in stone yet, but or the guy can wait until guy with the check announces it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not about to tell you what to believe.
Giants will probably announce the GM hire Friday. What is it? That's tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Yeah. Ash said he missed it. He missed it. But guy, that was, hey man. I hope if it is Shane, like I said, he's my second option. He was my number first on my number one until I saw Peters. But as far as I don't know, as far as where he comes from in Buffalo, he's interchangeable with him and Peters. I really don't mind any of them. I'll be just as happy with Shane that I am with Peters. So if that happens to be the case, I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And then I'm very excited because, listen, he's our best chance for Brian Daboll at this point. Guys that really want Brian Daboll, like me and you, I guess we would want Shane to be the GM because he would automatically be a target for. Brian Daboll will automatically be a target for the Giants. If Peters gets hired, we don't know who's that head coach target yet. Yeah, there's no really say there. So he would probably have to get somebody from either 49er staff or wherever he knows. But, Brian Daboll is the most obvious choice for Shane. And it tells you something else, too. If the Giants, like our little theory here that, that the Giants requested for Dan Quinn because they're going off of, potential candidates from the previously interviewed. The only two guys that have been interviewed were Poles and Shane, second time interview so far. So if they're bringing in Dan Quinn and they got Dan Quinn's name from one of the second interviews, it could only be Shane or Poles, right? So, hey, that's
So I'm gonna
something to think about.
restate what I stated earlier to Dice. Was the last time I'm gonna say it because we coming close to the hour 30 mark anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they had only the transactions listed up to the 5th. Will Rebade's consistent about all these transactions. They have Dave Gettleman listed retired on the 5th. Gettleman didn't retire until the 10th, but they have it listed as the 5th. Joe Judge didn't get fired until like last week, a couple days ago. They have it listed as the 6th. What's consistent is that each date is early. Like each date is like very early compared to when the transaction actually happened. It's just when ESPN updated their website about it. That's weird. That's the weird part here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, and this is crazy that we're unraveling this live right now. Shane wants Dable. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Shane wants Dable. Let's see. They also have Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace fired on January 5th. I guess that
And when
helps.
did they actually get fired?
Yeah, it was Black Monday.
Yeah, it was the 10th.
Yeah.
Right. So they consistently have these things early. They consistently have it early.
That actually helps our case too, Ignacio, if you're trying to help our case. What are your thoughts? Adrian asked your thoughts on Harbaugh. I'll be honest with you. I guess Kush can better explain this than I am because I think he's more positive for Harbaugh. I hear Harbaugh's name every year coming back into the NFL. I'm not going to believe it until I see it yet because he is in love with Michigan. He wants to stay in Michigan. And after his first real, he's always been successful in Michigan, but this is his first real takeoff for Michigan. I think he wants to build on that. I don't think he's going to leave after the year he just had. They made it to the college playoff.
Yeah, nobody thought that. I definitely think that for the first time in all the years we're having the rumors that he's actually going to do interviews. He hasn't done one yet. But then again, head coaching interviews haven't been done yet, right? So we'll see basically what happens next week when they do begin. The only 2 teams he's been connected to, it's not like he's connected to a lot of teams. There's only been 2 teams. The Raiders has been the team that he's been connected to the most. Mm-hmm. And the Giants as almost like a throw-in. I don't really think he's a legit candidate for the Giants. There's been rumors saying that he's linked to the Giants. But honestly, it's just been the Raiders. And because, I don't know why, because of the fact that it seems like he's only connected to one team, for some reason that makes it feel more realistic to me than the other years where he was connected to multiple teams. So if he has a chance, I think he probably will do an interview. I can see him making a comeback in the NFL. But I agree with you. After what they did with Michigan this year, I would also see him wanting to go back and continue to build on that. What you got to keep in mind, KB, is that team that did so very well this year, a lot of them are going into the NFL. A lot of them have declared for the draft. So, he is going to be losing a lot of talent.
Yeah. Well, that happens for every year in college, though,
And then Will says, things I like about Dable besides his offense, just curious. Well, for me, the only thing I can't what is there? That's the only thing we know about, right? His offense. Literally it. When I spoke about him in the Brian Flores video, because I talked about every potential head coach candidate. I think I had about 6 guys in there. Mm-hmm. I said the same thing for him that I said for Eric Bieniemy, which is they have great offenses, and even those offenses have questions about them. We don't know a thing about their defense, right? We don't know anything about their defense. We don't know how any of these guys are going to be as first-time head coaches. I could just hope that they hire a great defensive coordinator that can handle that side of the ball, which is why me, preferably, in a dreamland, I would get a coach that was a coach before, that was successful before, that knows how to turn the team around. In my dreamland, that's what I want.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh man, Joe Judge needs to be a Cowboy. I think we both. I don't know, because Joe just found success as a Cowboy. I'd be pretty pissed off. Very similar background to JJ, I guess. Joe Judge. They could have canceled the Adam Peters interview. They could have, but they're not. I don't think they're going to. They're going to follow through with that, and I'm excited to see how that works out. What about Sean Payton? Nah, I'm good without Sean Payton. But yeah, anything else you want to bring up before we get ready to
Nothing much. I'm just waiting because I'm gonna go and clip it, and I'm putting this up on my channel because you have the stream, so I'm gonna put up the clip of that. I'm gonna be like, conspiracy theory time is gonna be the title, bro. That's gonna be the
For
title.
sure,
Well,
for
that was
sure.
a good one. I want to say 7 to 8 minutes. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Right. So, and before we wrap this up, guys, you guys throw out your questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to put out there in the comments before we ended up here. This was a very successful stream. I appreciate you guys coming in here. I think we topped out at about 76 viewers. So you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. I'm not able to see the likes yet, but please hit that like button, guys. Helps out the stream a lot. And yeah, man, this is very
Yeah.
exciting. Very exciting
Hey,
for
this is a great comeback stream right here. It's the first one on
yeah,
KB's
yeah,
channel in about, I want to say, about a month. I'm glad to see
yeah.
everybody tune out. If
Mhm.
anybody is potentially new, which there's always potentially new people when we have this high amount of viewers, the stream takes place every week. We rotate channels, so next week will be on mine. The week after will be back on Kid Blues. Definitely check us both of us out, sub us up, and stay in tune with the podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all think we're gonna keep Barkley? I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. As far as this year goes, I mean, I don't possibly, but if the Giants obviously want to trade him, it'd be hard to trade him with 1 year on his contract left, especially in his 5th year option, which is, you know what? That may even help us because I think we pay for his 5th year option anyway. So I guess the team will be getting him for free. They would just have to re-sign him. I don't know how that works yet. Obviously, I think it's all in negotiation, how you would negotiate that. But Barkley, I would trade him this year. I would trade him before the season starts because obviously you don't want to get him hurt before you even try to trade him. So Barkley, I would trade him. Don't know if they would actually do that, but I imagine a team that's totally going to reset is probably going to get rid of some stars. I'll be honest with you guys. Probably going to get rid of some stars. Um,
Um,
Record prediction.
Too
We're not
early.
even there
Way
yet.
too
Way
early.
too early,
Way
dude.
too
We're
early.
not even
Way too
close
early.
to that. I appreciate the question, but we're just we can't, not even close. We don't even know the
Same,
schedule yet.
if that same thing with you with like new defense core. We don't even know who the general manager or head coach is
Oh,
yet, but it's
that
like still
that's a
too early.
thing. That's a topic I forgot to mention, and we could talk about that for a little bit. Is Patrick Graham? Um, I don't get attached to coaches like that. Besides, guys like Tom Coughlin, right? Guys that really made an impact on this team. Patrick Graham is a guy I don't really have a superior like attachment to necessarily. I just really want to keep building on what this defense is, right? Like I think Patrick Graham's defense if in full potential, right? That man defense and the 3-4 blitzing defense that comes from everywhere, right? He blitzes corners, he blitzes safeties, he blitzes inside linebackers. Blake Martinez had a lot of success in his system. Obviously due to certain situations because the offense sucked so bad, we had to force ourselves to be less aggressive and pretty much play a little bit more conservative role and play a lot of soft zone defense and kind of play to not lose. What do you think about keeping Patrick Graham? Would you want to keep Patrick Graham, or for like resetting sake, you would want to restart and kind of start anew with a new defensive coordinator, or is it even possible at this point to keep
So
Patrick Graham? Because I don't even know if it's possible.
you're not. I don't know if you're not. I don't know if you're gonna like my answer or not, but I don't think the chat's gonna like my answer. And this is gonna be my answer for any coach
He's not
on the
coming back.
Giants.
Yeah.
No, I trust whatever in the world the new GM does.
Okay.
If the new
Yeah.
GM and head coach decide they want to keep him, I'm trusting you. If they decide they want to get rid of him, I'm trusting you. It's gonna be up to them, and I'm gonna leave it up to them. I could see him coming back. I do think it's a slim chance. We've seen coaches roll over before. I still do think it's a really slim chance. But I could see him coming back, and I could definitely, which I think is the more likely thing, I could see him being gone, which I would be very sad about. I mean, let's not forget, we all wanted to keep Steve Spagnuolo back in 2017, but we didn't, and he was a good defensive coordinator. So it's happened before.
Yeah, and Patrick Graham is a guy that even last year, was looked at as a potential head coach in the NFL. Don't know if he's going to get that opportunity this year because people are already getting interviews and stuff like that. He hasn't gotten an interview yet, so I guess that's not going to happen this year. But he's a guy that's very very liked in the NFL world. A lot of people really feel like he's going to be a head coach. He interviewed with the Jets last year, and that nothing happened from that, thank God. But I would like to see him stay. I know it's kind of a pipe dream at this point because you usually don't, a new regime comes in, the defensive coordinator is not a guy you keep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But maybe
So,
it's like a Texan situation, right? And they keep, Pep Hamilton, right? They're trying to keep Pep Hamilton on some way still on the staff. I would hope they do the same thing with Patrick Graham. But that's his decision too. If he
I'm
wants to leave.
gonna quickly answer Taco Nacho's questions. And Adrian, I see your question. Brooklyn, I see your question as well. I'm gonna try and quickly answer these because I don't want to extend the stream too much. So let me start off with Brooklyn. What do you do with Peppers when he comes back from injury? I think the smartest thing to do is to let him go. I don't know if he has any trade value. If he does, can we even trade him? Do we have him on the? I think we do have
He's
him
on the
fifth year option.
He's on the 5th year.
Yeah. So hey, listen, if he has trade value, trade him. But I think the smartest thing to do is to get him off the team, unfortunately, because I do like Jabril Peppers. But I don't see a need for him on the team anymore, I'll be honest with you guys. Adrian says, do you think Daniel will ever become a franchise QB, even if it's for another team? Well, I've said this a million times before, in the right/perfect situation. Yeah, sure, I could see it happening.
But at the same time, is it? I mean, would he really
not
be
even
a franchise QB if he needs a perfect situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill is a franchise QB. And he has a perfect situation.
That's
right?
true.
Franchise QB doesn't mean elite QB. What I was about to say, though, is that what we're all overlooking and forgetting about is the fact that his neck injury could be career-ending, and we haven't heard a word about it since the season ended, which is even more worrying for me. True. And then Taco Nacho says, if they keep Kitchens, will you be happy? And it's the last one I'm going to do for tonight. If they keep Kitchens as a tight end coach, I got no problem to complain. I mean, tight end coach, sure. He won't be the offensive coordinator. At least I hope not.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna keep Kitchens around. They're definitely not. I don't think so. Especially the little amount he did as offensive coordinator, how bad we sucked. You know, we scored the 3 points like twice. We haven't gotten past 13 points in his time as as offensive coordinator. So that being said, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. This was a really good stream, really good comeback stream. Thank you guys for joining in. We're gonna be back and consistent with the Young Guns podcast as long as we have our schedules clear. But you know, as of right now, I think I'm in the clear. Can't speak about Hub. I don't know if he's.
I should be in the clear as well. I don't have any Wednesday night classes that are going to 9:30 when the semester starts back, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining in. Listen, guys. I had a blast, and obviously we had a lot of fun here with the Eagles fight song, and then the little conspiracy theory that we were going on with. But you guys are awesome. Best freaking supporters on the internet. And you got any final words, man?
Not yet. Not anything that I haven't said before. Just, I guess, what I said a couple minutes earlier. Make sure you keep up with the podcast because we're going to be trying to keep it on. We're back in our groove now, basically.
Yeah, we're back in the groove of things. So that being said, guys, we'll see you guys next time.